Hello, my name is Rafael Seiz Ortiz from the Department of Applied Linguistics at UPV. In this academic English video, we will see the importance of emphasis and some emphatic structures and inversions. These are the contents. We will have a look at emphasis in academic English, and we will see some sentence structures and some inversions that can give emphasis to different parts of a statement. The objectives are to understand how the structure of a sentence can be changed in order to give emphasis to certain parts, and to know how inversion works when it is used for emphasis purposes. Emphasis is important in academic English, although academic English is normally characterized by a distance, by hedging. Sometimes, because we want to emphasize an argument, to clarify something, we want to be emphatic, especially when we want to emphasize the importance of a specific claim, or when we want to give a view or opinion. There are four major techniques for giving emphasis: using emphatic sentence structures, using emphatic inversions, using emphatic adverbs, and using emphatic expressions. In this video, we will focus on the first two. There are two main ways in which you can restructure a sentence to give a greater impact to one part of the sentence. The construction it plus a form of be and a relative clause on the one hand, and a what clause plus a form of the verb to be. The first one, it can be followed by a form of to be and a relative clause to give emphasis. To give emphasis to the first part of a sentence. For example, it is the government that should monitor the infrastructure. The part of the sentence which is emphasized is underlined in the examples. Or it is through practice rather than memorization that you master a technical subject. For example, the first sentence here is more emphatic than saying, for example, the government should monitor the infrastructure. If we want to emphasize a personal subject, then we use who instead of that. For example, it is the electrical engineer who can fix that problem. And the other typical sentence structure is a what clause plus a form of the verb to be. In this case, you place a greater emphasis on the second part of a sentence. For example, what we need is a software that allows us to work in partnership. Some additional information that would normally be located at the beginning or at the end of a sentence is included between what and the verb to be. And a plural noun would require the plural form of to be. We have to take this into account. In the examples, we can see that. What we need in order to succeed are highly resistant components. Or what an environmental engineer must do is make sure clean energies are used. We will move on now to emphatic inversions. To emphasize the negative or limited meaning of a situation, sometimes we place negative or limiting words at the beginning of a sentence, and this implies an inversion of the normal word order, the normal order of the elements in the sentence. And we can do that by placing in front of the subject either the auxiliary or modal verb or a form of the verb do. For example, rarely has there been a time when it was so easy to build a prototype, or no sooner did the company report the problem than it changed its strategy. The inversions are marked in blue in the examples. There are some limiting words and phrases that we place at the beginning and then you limit or restrict the action or event by putting emphasis on that part. These are only plus ing form, rarely or seldom. Only by is normally followed by a will or can, normally, such as in the example. Only by using specific machinery will this part be manufactured. Of course, other prepositional or adverbial phrases are possible with this function and in this structure. For example, only after careful evaluation did the chief engineer sign the contract. Sometimes phrases can also be emphatic at the beginning and they need inversion. These are the time phrases. Hardly when, no sooner than, not since until, at no time or never. By placing them at the beginning, we emphasize the speed or the unique nature of the event or action that we are expressing. Here we have 3 examples. Hardly had the committee made the decision when the chairperson declared it in social networks. At no time during the process did they add extra metal, or never had companies in the area seen such a growth as in the 1980s. In this case, we have these expressions at the beginning with the corresponding, the necessary inversion. It happens also with some negative phrases such as on no account, under no circumstances, or neither nor. And their location at the beginning of the sentence again emphasizes, in this case, the negative nature of the meaning. For example, on no account or under no circumstances should suppliers try to influence engineering decisions. Or the committee had not experienced this level of dispute before, and neither or nor had it prepared itself for the resulting problems. In this case, inversion only affects to the second part of the sentence. In conclusion, emphasis sometimes is an important function in academic and formal English. The structure of a sentence can be used by changing it to give emphasis to specific parts of a sentence, and we have seen some examples. And on the other hand, the use of certain expressions which are normally negative or limiting at the beginning of a sentence for emphasis requires inversions and the inversion of the normal or the usual word order. Thank you very much for your attention.